Somebody asked that she was advised to practice the greater vehicle, the Mahayana, not to practice the lower vehicle, the Theravada. And she asked me whether that was correct. So, firstly, I'd like to tell you a bit about my background, that I've been searching this truth, the spiritual path. I've been walking for something like 20 years. When I started off, I studied the Bible, studied the Quran, studied yoga, studied Hindu teachings, Taoism. And then finally I came to Buddhism. And then when I came to Buddhism, at first I read also about the great vehicle Mahayana teachings. And I practiced Mahayana for about 8 to 9 years. And 3 of those years I practiced in robes. I went to America to a big Mahayana temple. I stayed for 3 years. Then I came back because I was quite disillusioned. And then after I came back from America, I took the Mahayana higher ordination in Kiloxi Temple in Penang. And then I was a Mahayana monk for about half a year, and then I went to Thailand to investigate Theravada Buddhism. And then after that I switched over to Theravada Buddhism, and I have been a Theravada monk for 9 years. This is my 9th Vasa, about 9 years. So, I have an understanding of Mahayana Buddhism and Theravada Buddhism. I think I'm in a better situation to discuss this than many people. I've seen both aspects of it. So practiced Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana. Now coming back to this question about lower vehicle and the higher vehicle. When it comes to, this is one of the sensitive questions that sometimes monks don't like to talk about, don't like to answer, or don't like to answer in detail because it can get them to trouble. But because I learned the hard way, I groped about in the dark, because when I asked certain monks, when I was groping in the darkness and I didn't know, I went to certain monks for advice, and they never advised me. Never gave me the proper advice. So, as a result of which, I later came to realize that I lost many years, many good years. So, when people ask me this type of question, I try to take the trouble to answer as best as I can, with the view of helping people not to lose many years. So when it comes to this kind of question of which is the true Dhamma, then I would like to advise people to think carefully. Now you have these 3 schools, Mahayana, Vajrayana and Theravada. Now this Vajrayana and Mahayana, their books are quite similar. They come from this greater vehicle of Mahayana school that started after the Buddha's time. And this, if we investigate the history of Buddhism, we can understand why this came about. Because the Sangha, the order of monks, is split into 2. This happened about 100 years after the Buddha's Mahaparinibbana, after the Buddha's passing away. a certain monk by the name of Yasa. He was a good monk. He begged for his food. He was a poor monk, didn't have any money. So he came to a certain area, and the monks in that area, they did not keep the Vinaya, the discipline of the monks very purely, so they accepted money. And after they accept money from the lay people, they would distribute among the monks. So when this monk Yasa came to that place, he was supposed to be an Arahant. And the monks collected money from the lay people, especially on the Uposatha days, what we call Choyat Samma. And they distributed the money and gave him a portion, and he refused to accept. So they got a shock, because here comes a monk who is trying to act differently from them. And then, because he refused to accept money, lay people would slowly get to know that he's doing the right thing, that the rest of the monks shouldn't be accepting money. So they were afraid of him, so they started to take action against him, tried to suspend him, didn't want him to mix with them and all this thing. So as a result of this, there was a controversy in the Sangha, and these monks split into two camps. One camp sided with Yasa, and another camp sided with those local monks. And this was the reason for the second Sangha council. And from there, they picked an Arahant, supposed to be 120 years old, to settle this dispute. And this Arahant was supposed to be a disciple of Ananda or something like that, one of the Arahants. And he decided in favor of Yasa, because he was a strict monk. They talked about 10 points, keeping money and other points of the Vinaya. One of them was whether they should follow what the teachers teach them. And it was decided that, for example, monks are not supposed to keep money, possess money, and that sometimes what the teacher tells us, we can listen to him. Sometimes we should not listen to him. Meaning that if what the teachers, the senior monks tell us, and it is the same as what the Buddha says, we listen to him. But if he tells us something that is not according to what the Buddha says, we should not listen to him. So, as a result of this, because Yasa won, the other camp, they had more monks, and they split away from this Yasa's group. Yasa's group consisted of older monks, what they call the Theras, the elders. So the other group was a bigger group, they call it the Mahasanghika group, the great Sangha. Whereas this one was the Theravada group, the group of the elders. So from there, it split slowly into, but it took a process, not immediately, split into Mahayana and Theravada. It took a few hundred years, because at that time, both of them were supposed to still follow the Pali canon. But as a result of the split, the other group, although they follow the Pali books, they started to change the Pali books. It's just like America and England. Because America, they had to fight with the English to get their independence. They have a certain hatred for the English. So after they won their independence, although they spoke English, they changed their English. The English, they spell color as C-O-L-O-U-R. The Americans purposely spell it as C-O-L-O-R. There's no necessity, but they purposely want to change it just to show that they are different. So in the same way, but this Mahasanghika group, they split away and they changed their suttas a bit, just to show that they are different. What is in the beginning, they put in the end. What is in the end, they put in the beginning. And they changed certain other things. And slowly these two sects, the Theravada and the Mahasanghika, they also split into more sects. And by the time of Emperor Asoka, there were 18 sects of Buddhism in India.
But we can know from the, what they call the Asoka, Emperor Asoka edicts, those pillars which Emperor Asoka made for people to understand the Dhamma. It was written on these edicts, the words of the Buddha. And now that they dig up these old stone pillars in India, especially in Bihar state, which is the old Magadha country, when they dug up these old concrete, these stone pillars, they found that all the suttas in there are actually the Pali suttas. In other words, at that time there were no Sanskrit sutras. And this was predicted by the Buddha. At first the Buddha did not want to allow the bhikkhunis to form a bhikkhuni order, nuns. And then Ananda and the Buddha's foster mother, Mahapajapati, persuaded the Buddha to form the bhikkhuni order. But after the Buddha agreed, then the Buddha told Ananda, he said, today if we had not formed the bhikkhuni order, the true Dhamma would have lasted 500 years. 1,000 years. Then he said, as a result of forming the bhikkhuni order, now our religion is weakened, and the true Dhamma will only last for 500 years. In other words, it's not that 500 years after that there is no true Dhamma. It is that after that it will be mixed with new writings.